I really love adventuring.
My dad always told me to stay away from the lights, but like, have you seen those things?
And I'm still. Hang on. Professional. I'm back, Skylar, and I'm still impotent.
Hey, welcome to Cut It Podcast. I'm Elijah.
And I'm Victor.
What we do here is we voice comics because we're like amateur voice actors just wanting to do things, and we're pals. So we thought, why not make a podcast together?
I actually kind of want to dive into, really briefly, what the genesis was. This started as, hey, let's voice record, voice act over comics and put that content out there. And over the course of recording session 1, which doesn't exist.
Let's not talk about the fact that I did not hit record and I am checking to constantly see that this is recording now. Okay, let's not talk about that. All right.
We won't talk about it. You can talk about it. It's your fault. Just kidding. But over the course of that session, because we were talking and converting, two dudes talking about stuff in between the actual recordings, we were like, this would make a really cool podcast.
Like every two white guys, but I'm half black, so it's not the same.
That makes it okay.
That makes it okay. All right, so we're gonna jump right into our warm up, and our warm up is basically just voicing original characters we found on Reddit, and we're gonna make sure we're gonna credit those people. So if you see any art that you like, if you're watching the video version of the podcast, do not forget to go and support those people and give them their upvotes if you use Reddit. Let's start us with the first one. Now this is D&D homebrew from Kamunu Z, CAMUNONZ. I had dyslexia. Okay. It is a Conan the Barbarian. No, not Conan.
Chaotic good barbarian.
Just a chaotic good barbarian. Do you want to go first?
You go first. But first, just let me say, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if the face on this first image was a reference or if the whole thing is cooked up from the TikTok thing, but I've seen TikToks of this animated character that is this, and if it's based on what I think it is, this is hilarious.
I think it is. I think it is based on that barbarian character. Okay, here's my take on the barbarian character. Big muscle, big and muscle. Kind of think like the Hulk, but he has a really tiny head. So I'm deciding what decision I should make in my head. There's so many going on in my mind.
I could hear the gears melting.
Just far. All right, here we go. Yeah. I really love adventuring. And to be honest with you, I love telling the truth too. It's just like my favorite thing, and I will squish you if you are a bad guy. That's my take. That's a good take. At the beginning, I really couldn't tell if you were about to go Schwarzenegger with it. Oh yeah.
And then you didn't, and I was vaguely grateful.
Because that's what you were gonna do?
No. No. I guess we will eventually get into an opportunity for me to do a Schwarzenegger voice, but now that I'm thinking about it, you actually kind of nailed it.
Yeah.
No notes.
No notes.
In my head, I was like, oh, I need to do my version of the voice that's already like part of the TikTok content. And now I'm doubting myself. The doubt is creeping in. I'm fearing again.
Don't think about it. Just do it.
I saw on your bounty board that there was a dragon in the area. And as you can probably tell, I keep a very high protein diet. And dragons are great sources of protein, really high protein density. And, if I get the kind of meat off of this thing that I think I'll get, you don't even have to pay me the gold.
Perfect. I love that guy. I wanted to jump in with like a character and just like talk to your character a little bit more. Maybe we'll do that. that could be fun. Let's hit up our next one. Is a kind of like a
Big
serial slasher killer. He's like gray. He got some scars and he's holding a mask. So
Dude looks very depressed and very vitamin D deficient.
This man is me on the inside.
all right. Let's go ahead. All right, and freaking battle, go.
You know, the really important thing here is to you gotta keep your knives clean. Like, this is not a good example. This is not a good look. I've had a very busy night, but you gotta keep your knives clean. You can't let rust set in. You gotta sharpen those. If the tang of the blade starts to separate from the handle, you really gotta get somebody that's good with knife maintenance. And a mask is kind of, it doesn't really matter. If you gotta get a fucked up face, you don't really even need a mask. But a little professional decorum. A mask is the industry standard.
Okay. Yeah, every serial killer has a mask. Like every famous serial killer, we got the one Scream, the other one Michael. We got all. I watch horror. I watch CZ's World, so I know all about horror. Okay.
What the heck is even that?
Oh, it's a great horror channel. My friend Zach runs it. You should totally watch it sometime.
Okay.
It's awesome. Anyways, okay. Here's my take on this guy. So I've been a serial killer for like 6 years, and it really doesn't get any easier, but it doesn't get any harder either. But sometimes you just have those moments when you're about to strike a man in the chest, and you think about your father and how you got here and where you're going. Okay, guys.
My guy. That was amazing.
Thank you. I'll be here all week. I'm so excited for this one because I've been thinking about this one since I saw it. I will let you go first if you would like. This is, by the way, a moth kind of man, Red Moth, and he's an OC. He is by Mr. Red 5391. And Victor, take it away.
The hands are
Yeah.
all that's gonna inform this character. Nothing else but the hands.
I think we're about to make the same choice, yeah.
My dad always told me to stay away from the lights, but like, have you seen those things? Like, they're just so pretty, and I just want to. You go to the lights, and like, it's so warm and soft, and there's people there, people with really yummy sweaters, And people don't really carry mothballs in their pockets like my grandma told me they did. So like, it seems okay.
I do have a question. That was fun. What is the point of a mothball? Do we just put those in pockets to keep out moths? What are mothballs?
I have never looked. Okay, there's a wide variety of things that I have randomly Googled,
Yeah.
both on my own as a person that's like, I really want to know this answer, and like for work. My search history is full of red flags as a journalist, just things you shouldn't. Most people should not Google these things, but I had to for a story. It doesn't matter.
I'm just going to say the same thing for being a writer. Like, I am probably on some watch list of, like, how to get away with murdering a small boy in Mississippi.
I love how you went into a bit mid-explanation. Anyway, so again, never looked it up. My assumption is that whatever a mothball is, it's like putting cedar planks in your closet to repel this or that. I think it's something that messes with their senses, or it makes the environment or the air uncomfortable. I'm not sure if it repels or kills. I do not know.
Well, I guess we'll never know. And I did always think for a little bit when I was a kid. My family is Jewish. If you couldn't tell by my face. There's matzo ball soup, and for like a small split second when I was a kid, I thought matzah and moth were like the same thing. Anyways, here's my impression of the red moth.
So like I really think that
That's kind of yours. I'm gonna change it up.
That's not bad.
I know.
It's not bad for the, because again, like you said, we both saw the hands and we're
Yeah.
like, this is the decision we're making. But yeah, if you want to try something,
I'm gonna do something a little bit different.
all right.
Same linear plane, but a little bit.
different because I am just a little vampire moth thing, and yes, I wanted to know if you wanted to, I don't know, maybe go on a date with me. And I know what you're thinking. I'm only attracted to you because you're, a lightning bug, and you have light, and I'm a moth, and I'm attracted to light. And while that may be a little bit true, I am also lonely and horny.
Okay, I actually really like that you incorporated the other bugs into the continuity and like the nature aspect. But now all I can think about is the Cajun, I think, Firefly from Princess and the Frog.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one that was obsessed with the moon.
Yeah.
The only death in that film, by the way, spoiler alert, I think.
Oh, hey. We need a big fat spoiler alert in that one.
It's been how many years since the movie came out?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Okay. So I think we're warmed up enough, and I think it's time to shift gears into reading some comics. First up, we have some Reddit comics. This first one is from creators Neil and Marissa Coney. They run the Other End series. You can find it on Reddit, and if you just search it on Google, you'll find it.
Rare Canadian feathered goose. I better snap a pic for the fellas. What?
I'm George now, and I'm gonna kiss your wife.
Quack! I mean hug!
Oh, George, these past 12 months have been something else. You've seemed happier, more passionate, shorter, and your fertility issues have gone away.
Honk. I mean, yeah.
George!
What is it, George?
Face me!
Stay in bed. I'll handle it. Sure, took you long enough. But it's time you get off my property.
The charade ends now. While you've spent 12 months kissing my wife and watching my TV, I've been training myself and my goose comrades in the ancient art of halberd-based revenge.
Yeah. Well, did you train them to be bulletproof?
Yeah.
What? Oh, shit.
Hooray!
George? What's going on, honey?
I'm back, Skylar, and I'm still...
Hang on. Professional.
I'm back, Skylar, and I'm still impotent.
Oh, George.
Nice.
No, with the Foley sound. Too much.
Don't forget to support The Other End on Patreon. I love reading their work. Patreon.com/The Other End. You can get bonus comics, early comics, and more geese, I guess.
So off the bat, let me just say, because Canadian Goose and almost nothing else, a little bit of the art style of the guy.
Yeah.
As somebody that has watched Letterkenny and the spinoff Shoresy, shout out to everything about that. That's the vibe I get from this comic.
Yeah.
So I see this happening in an episode of Shore, like maybe as a fever dream or a nightmare or something, or in Letterkenny.
Yeah, their humor is pretty much this, and I love it. I pulled a few more of theirs for future episodes because it's just so absurd, and absurdity just really tickles me in like the best ways. I love this panel so much of him just like naked, and a goose is blocking it, and he has this shirt, this modesty goose.
See, this is why looking back over it is great, because I completely didn't clock that the first time.
Next up, we have a comic from the creator existentialcomics.com. I can't call them out by name because, well, they didn't have their name. So this is called Orangutan Freedom. And here we go. Stupid monkey in a cage.
I may be in a cage, my brother, but I am more free than you.
What the hell?
You are a slave more than me, a slave to work, a slave to your boss, a slave to capitalism. Every day you go to a job you hate, to toil away on tasks you don't want to do, all so you can afford to pay your landlord rent. But my day is my own. I am beholden to no one, no work, no meetings, no alarm clock, no schedule, and no boss. I do what I want. When I want. So, who is really free, human? Who is really free?
You told them a thing or two about real freedom? Shut up, idiot. We're literally in a cage. My only freedom is being able to antagonize the tourists. I love Goofy, guys. Yeah, I love Goofy. I'm... Oh, what's the deal with freedom?
Why are you yelling? Who's
Yelling! Not me. This one, I love monkeys and I love existentialism. So this is like one of my favorite comics that I read this week, I think.
Yeah. Listen, big fan of existentialism and existential crises here. Not the biggest fan of monkeys, apes, and orangutans. Not just I don't know why.
We got to cancel this podcast right now. I simply cannot have a host who does not like monkeys, and they're our ancestors. We got to respect our elders, bro.
Okay. You're gonna make me nerd out. I feel like you set this up exclusively and explicitly to make me nerd out.
You have 15 seconds. Go.
This is the big problem with the ancestors and evolution versus whatever else the fuck you want to believe debate. No, they are not ancestors. They are a different branch of evolution. There may have been a commonality at some point, a common ancestor.
And that's enough. We got it. All right. Thanks, Victor. That was 15 seconds. 15-second facts with Victor, everybody. We are...
I do like the existentialism and existential crisis thing. I also really like the juxtaposition of like, I'm going to tell you what's what, and you're not really free, cut to
You're not really free either.
the reality check, but he's like the self-aware reality check.
It's almost funny that none of us are free. I feel like is what he's trying to say here. Like me inside the cage, outside the cage. Willard said.
Can we also take a second to analyze the fact that based on the cheeks of the guy, the human, like this dude is starving to death.
No, he's got Squidward face.
That ain't chiseled cheekbones. That is sunken starvation face.
Bro is mewing. He's mewing right here.
Hmm.
Well, if you have any comics that you would like to submit for us to read, send it to cutitpodcontact@gmail.com. We might read yours. Or we'll keep selecting things from the internet because they're great as well. Well, we'll do both. We want to elevate comic creators. Speaking of talking poorly, speaking of supporting comic creators, I am a comic creator, and we have a little special thing that we do on every episode. This is the first episode, but we're going to do it on every episode. If you like reading comics like we do, I would like to introduce you to Comics on the House. It's my free weekly newsletter packed with comic book goodness. Every issue features a brand new comic written by me, I'm Elijah, plus honest reviews and shout outs to the best mainstream and indie comics out there. So if you love discovering fresh stories and supporting creators, this is your new favorite inbox delivery. You can sign up at comicsonthehouse.com. It's free, it's fun, and it's all about comics. That's my ad voice, so I hope you enjoy it. Now we're going to voice some comics from Comic on the House, just to see a little bit of a taste of what you'll be getting. One is a good one, and the other one is just one that I need to put out in the world. That's not the best, but we can discuss about it.
And if you dare,
I've fought for days. You think you scare me?
this is your project's end.
No, it's your end.
I have hemorrhoids. All right. That's a great one. Thank you very much, Victor.
What the It's like, thanks. I'm gonna fucking find a new co-host.
Oh god. So this comic, I don't know. I was just in like a writer's block, and sometimes to get over a writer's block, what I found is just to write, and whether that's a journal or just do something that might not make it out there, just to kind of like ungrease the wheels, or to grease the wheels, not to ungrease them. Sucking all the grease out. But the best way is just to write something. So this is what I ended up writing.
I do like the idea of personifying this great unknowingly massive entity of personifying a challenge. I didn't have to stick all the extra words in there.
I like your extra words.
Thanks. I gotta say, really love the concept of the pen as his weapon, pen mightier than the sword.
Yeah.
It's a classic for me. But when I hit a block, honestly, it's an even coin flip. There is no gray area. It's either I am brute forcing this to happen and I'm not doing anything else,
Yeah.
or I will do everything else before that project first. until I am just exhausted and there's nothing left for me to do but that thing that is blocked. And as of yet, both of those things continue to work. Knock on wood.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of the personification of pushing through it and defeating it, and not just waiting for it to happen later, which is what I end up doing a lot. I'm just like, I just gotta push through it, because especially if you're a writer, writing is all about just pushing through it and getting your reps in, and you don't have to write the next great American novel every time you sit down. You just have to write something.
Yeah.
Not very funny. This is a advice podcast now. I do like how he's a frog. He should have said ribbit. I should have added a ribbit somewhere.
I don't know. The detailing on the frog is giving me kind of pixely vibes.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that it matters what form the monster of writer's block takes. Just the fact that it's this big looming monstrosity is enough.
It is a block. It is literally a block with legs on it.
Minecraft would be proud.
Minecraft would be proud, but not Circlecraft, because the world made of circles. Imagine Minecraft but circles instead of blocks. Wouldn't that be terrible?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just envisioning it now like it's an episode of Wipeout with a giant red bouncy ball thing where you have to walk over the water. And it's just, that's everything. So you're at risk of falling to your death every step and not just on the edges of things. So great idea. Ever encourage someone to make that.
I kind of want it now, where you have to traverse the world only on balls, and if you fall through, you die. So, Polly, what's your number one piece of advice?
Wow, great question. No one's ever asked me something so profound.
Yeah.
I've learned that impatience is just virtue signaling for a weak mind.
Oh, heck yeah.
You cannot grab your future if you're too busy thinking about what comes next.
I'm gonna bust.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
The bird that rises and grinds gets the worm and the cracker.
Oh, yeah.
You want a cigarette after that?
I don't think I need a cigarette. So all right, I want to say that I wrote this one because every time I watch like a clip with like Joe Rogan or something, like any of these podcast bros, and they ask for advice, no matter how simple or basic the advice is, they always act like it's the most profound thing they've ever heard, even when it's like the most basic thing. And they both treat it as like gospel. So it's like,
okay, this actually gets into a really interesting point. Whether it's the most basic, common sense thing, or completely fluffy, nothing filler words, just vibrating air. Yeah, it blows my mind that they, like, I'm sorry, you cannot service your guest's ego like that just because you know that it's gonna help your views.
Well, I will say it is being courteous, but sometimes it's just like so much that it's like, okay, you're not really interested in what this guy's saying, and you have to be just so like the audience thinks it's interesting. Like you're leading the audience to believe what somebody's saying is more interesting than it actually is.
I don't know if this is the common thing, but I'm much more likely to give a damn about the content and want to watch more. Like, be less animated. When I do interviews, you see me nodding because I'm logging what they're saying so that I can actually ask a question based on what they said.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm much more likely to think that you're awesome if you are willing to actually engage in the discussion with your guest, co-host, whatever, and ask a question or contribute to the discussion. This, yeah, to your point, yeah, this
is just like, yeah, oh yeah, I'm validating everything you're saying, even though you're basically saying like be kind to others. Like and like the question too, right? The joke about how nobody's ever asked me something so profound.
Yes, they
like,
have.
So that, and also like it's such a basic question. it's like showing how stupid podcasts are, which is funny because we have a podcast right now, but just like the most basic thing. Yeah. Anyways, that was the impetus for this comic. And if you enjoyed some of those comics, don't forget to read them on comicsonthehouse.com. Sign up for the newsletter there and read comics weekly. And that has been another episode, or the first episode of Cut It Podcast. We hope you didn't hate it, and we hope to see you again. You can find us on Spotify and YouTube and
Yes.
TikTok and on your mom's fridge, because she's proud of us and she has pictures, our headshots printed on her fridge.
Did you just equate us to macaroni art?
You know, we're rough around the edges but charming. So yeah.
Fair enough.